welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated to a show on MTV that'll still get you those butterflies even after 18 seasons. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge, Season 36, Double Agents Declassified episode. Now, if you did not watch last night's episode, it was technically not the premiere, it was an episode 0. If you remember, or if you did watch War of the Worlds, if you remember basic training, that's exactly what this Declassified episode was. I mean, this was all just for introductions to the house, to the players, give them enough screen time, give us that necessary exposition that we need to start the season, and then on Wednesday, the official premiere, we can get into the meat and potatoes, we can get right down to business going into the daily challenge. Now, if you follow MTV's The Challenge on social media, whether it is Twitter or Instagram, and watched all their videos, then you saw kind of like 70% of what this episode was, except for there were some sneak peeks that they put in there of daily challenges, of eliminations, which I have new screenshots, and we're gonna break that down later on in the video. So without further ado, let's start off talking about this challenge house for this season, the Double Agent season. And let me tell you right now, this house is absolutely beautiful. It's immaculate, and you know what? It better be, especially after the abomination that was given to us last season in Total Madness, that bunker. I mean, at first, when we got to see what it was all about and the way it looked, it was kind of like, okay, this is cool, this is different. And then as the season progressed, it kind of got more drabby and more just like, ugh, this bunker. I don't want to see any more of this bunker. Let alone, we had no idea exactly how the challenge contestants were living, the conditions that were in there with the plumbing just all to garbage. They were peeing in sinks, they had porta potties, they didn't want to get out of bed at one point in the season, which if they don't want to even get out of bed and play the game, how is that going to be fun for us, the audience, to watch? So they really went all out, which they should have, and they did, and this house is already one of my favorite challenge houses of all time. We go through this episode, we know that Cam and Leroy are back for this season of the challenge. Happy to have them back, and they are going to be a power couple this season. I don't care what anybody says. And then we move on to a more serious note, and that is CT talking about his struggles in his marriage. If you remember, after Final Reckoning, there was a 2-part series called CT's Getting Married, where he got married, and come to find out that they have been having struggles in their marriage, and now they are separated, and saying that that was not putting him in the right mental state for the challenge, or in the right physical state of the challenge, and he's coming onto this season just in a better light. He just seems like he's so much better off mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm looking forward to seeing what CT can do on this season of the challenge. Other people that I'm looking forward to and seeing what they can do on this challenge is Darrell and Teresa. I'm so happy that they are back, and not only do they look fantastic, but they are already in the mindset of these games. Teresa is sizing up the competition in this house, and Darrell is already understanding who these players are, especially the Big Brother players. Taking a look at these rookies, some rookies that impressed me, Natalie from Survivor seems to be a really strong competitor out of the gate. People are already sizing her up, and she's sizing up her competition. Other people are looking to work with her, which is a good sign overall. Her and Wes are getting very buddy-buddy, which can be a lethal duo. I think Amber B and Gabby have the strongest and most moving backstory of all the rookies in the house. They talked about wanting to win for their families and really help out their parents. Gabby talked about the loss of her father, which is, it's a struggle. It really is. Another person with a strong backstory is Leo Rush. Now, I was on Twitter, and a lot of people, after Leo was talking to Tori, a lot of people started being fans of Leo. Coming into the season, I had no idea who he really was. I knew he was from WWE. I never really watched WWE, but from some of the comments that were on my player preview videos and the casting videos, and then when I started watching some of his highlight reels, I was like, this guy could be fantastic on the challenge. And then hearing his backstory about how he grew up in a group home and finding wrestling and using that to help get him to bigger and better places, helping him to conquer a lot of difficulties in his life. And now he's on the challenge, ready to conquer it. I just loved his attitude. I love his competitiveness. I love his physicality. And also, he's coming in as one of the most entertaining rookies right off the bat, with him wrestling Kyle in the backyard and dropping him on the beanbag, pinning him down. I mean, that was one of the highlights of the night. Some other noteworthy things that happened on this challenge episode was Fessy is single and ready to tingle. The same with Nelson. And then another big announcement was made that this is going to be Leroy's final season on the challenge. Now, this was kind of cushioned a few days ago with a video that was posted on the challenge social media, and Leroy talked about how this was going to be his final challenge season. And then hearing it on the TV in the episode made it even that much more real. And a lot of people took to Twitter saying, please say it isn't so. And Leroy actually got on Twitter to comment to the fans saying, yes, it is indeed true. This is the final season I'm going to run on the challenge. He has a new opportunity, a new chapter that he wants to get started in his life. And it's kind of like that song Closing Time, that every new beginning is some other beginning's end. And I think this is a good thing to keep in mind heading into the premiere on Wednesday, that we have to enjoy and savor every moment that we have with our favorites on the challenge seasons. Because even if your favorite makes it to the finals or even wins a challenge season, there's no guarantee that they're going to be on the next season of the challenge or the season after that. I mean, think about Darrell. We haven't seen him since Dirty 30 on a challenge season. Yes, he came back as a mercenary on Vendettas, but he hasn't been on a full challenge season since Dirty 30. Heck, think about Teresa, who we haven't seen since Battle of the Exes 2. I mean, we have to just be able to watch the challenge, enjoy our favorites, and savor every moment that we have, because we're not guaranteed another challenge season with them. You can check out a vlog of them moving to Houston. So it seems as though that there is a big chapter or a different chapter that they are embarking with together. So that's something to keep in mind. But I'm happy to see them both back on the challenge season. I'm ready to see them take over this house, be a power couple, and I'm praying and rooting for Leroy to get the challenge win in his final season. Now, let's move towards looking at some of these challenge screenshots of these daily challenges, of these eliminations, and seeing what spoilers we can find that the challenge just handed to us on a silver platter. We're starting out with this photo of Amber B from Big Brother, and she looks to be getting ready to go into a physical elimination. She has a lot of pads, so she could be going into something big like a hall brawl. Here's one of the first daily challenges. We have CT, Darrell, Devin, what looks to be Fessy, Jay, and somebody on the very far end. And then we have this daily challenge. It seems as though this is going to be King of the Hill, and we have a person fighting with Casey on the cargo net. It looks to be only a few people left, maybe even just these 3 people left. And then we go over here and we see Cam, and it's Cam and Casey going up against each other. Then we move on to this picture of the Mud Pit Challenge. Nam is going to be in there, and it seems as though that they are wrestling for a pole, and it could be like a pole wrestling mud challenge where you have to rip it away from everybody and take it back to your station, to your partner. The wrestling ring on top of the truck, this has been featured in like every single teaser and trailer of this season. We have Natalie and Nani, which we've seen on teasers and trailers. We look back at the back end and we have Josh versus somebody very, very pale. And I have to think that this could possibly be Wes. So we have 2 teams right here where it could be Nani and or Natalie, and they're going to be partnered with either Josh or Wes. And from the way there were talks on the Declassified episode, I feel as though that Nany could be paired up with Josh, and Natalie, who was getting very close with Wes, is paired up with Wes. That could be a lethal combination right there. Or we could have Rivals 3 pairing right here with Nany and Wes going up against Natalie and Josh. That could be a possibility as well. We have another one right here, and if you look back, I really tried to get the back end to see if I could read the name on the helmet, and that helmet, I think, says Wes. The Mud Daily Challenge again, except for this is women right here, and we have Gabby Allen on the right-hand side. We have both Ambers in the middle, jumping at whoever is in this mud pit, probably having the pole. And then I'm trying to figure out who that person is coming off the left-hand side. I think it's Casey. I could not get the actual name to just stop and enhance. And then when you look at to see who's in the actual mud pit, it looks to be Teresa. This is going to be a hard, fun, physical daily challenge. I cannot wait for this one. This is the daily challenge that looks to be a puzzle in a minefield, and when counting up everybody, we have 18 people lined up here, so this could be the challenge where there's only 18 people left, which 12 people had to be eliminated, so that's a good amount, that's a good chunk of people in that daily challenge. Then we move on to one of the swimming daily challenges where we see Fessie's name. Now let's get into the elimination screenshots that I was able to get from the Declassified episode. Warning, there are spoilers that are going to be shown because they hardly blank out any of these names in these screenshots. So let's get into this. We have a look at the new elimination ring, which is called the Crater this season. We get a back end shot and a front end shot. And then we have Devin, who looks to be doing a puzzle in an elimination. We heard him in the Declassified episode telling Lolo, "You do not want to see me in a puzzle." It seems as though he got exactly the elimination he wanted to. And we have Cam, who looks to be putting rings on poles as she is jumping around, tethered to a line. So that's an elimination that I don't remember seeing in the challenge. So that's going to be interesting. And then we have Tori here with a rope, and if we let the clip play out, she is pulling what seems to be a track, a cage on a track where you're going to have to pull this thing to a certain point, and then all the balls are going to fall down. And then we see Josh holding a ball of that sort and throwing it at a wall to where it's like breaking apart. I wonder if this is going to be like a partner or duo elimination where one person is going to be pulling these balls and then a partner are going to have to be throwing them through this wall. And if you can take out all the pictures or all the quadrants, then you guys win. I wonder if this is like some sort of double elimination. We also did see this being played by Anissa, so it's going to be interesting to see if this is a double elimination and if Anissa is going to be going up against Tori and Josh, or if this is what is going to be played multiple times, and so you're going to have to pull your ball cage and then dump all your balls and then having to run and then throw it through these windows. It's going to be interesting to see what's actually going on in this season of the challenge. Then we have this physical elimination where we have Kyle going up against somebody. Again, I can't figure out who this is, and if we move forward in this clip is like the person's name is officially blurred out. We cannot see exactly who this person is. Kyle has a ring around him. It looks to be like maybe a crazy 8, except with a giant ring instead of a figure 8 that you're gonna have to try to put on these poles in the background. And then we have CT flying around, grabbing onto poles. I have no idea what's going on there. Nany is getting ready for a physical elimination, possibly doing the same elimination that we saw Kyle just doing against somebody. Then we have Casey looking to be doing the looper elimination. And what I mean by that is if we move on to the next one, we see Wes here, and he has this line pulled around the poles, and what I see is Looper from Free Agents, except there's a pole with a ring on the bottom of it. Instead of ringing a bell, I feel as though you have to get to your pole, you have to grab onto the ring and then put it over the pole. Once you do that, you win this elimination. And then we move on to Amber B, as you can see from her helmet on the bottom, she looks to be wearing a helmet, wearing pads with balls in a cylinder in a hall brawl-esque. So this could be like a different variation of a hall brawl where you're gonna have to grab your ball and then run it through. This could be like the T-bone and the hall brawl mix, where you have your set of balls and you're gonna have to be able to hit into your opponent and then transfer your ball, get past them and transfer your ball to the other side. And the person to get all their balls across to the other portion or port will win this elimination. That's what I think it is, but we see Amber B in this elimination, and then if you look on this person's helmet, it says Amber M. So we could be having a battle of the Ambers. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. And then we have Darrell doing the same thing that we just saw Wes doing. Could it be Darrell versus Wes, Vet versus Vet? Ooh, this is going to be shaping up to be a very, very good season. And then we have Leroy doing the strung out elimination that we saw him kick so much tail in Battle of the Exes 2. So he absolutely knows what he's doing in this elimination. But that is it. That is all the stuff that I have for this episode, for this video, for the Declassified episode. I need more of the challenge double agents. Luckily, Wednesday is just around the corner, but I turn it over to you. What did you think about the challenge double agents Declassified episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. After seeing everything that went on, who are you now rooting for? Did somebody now pull you over to their side and now you're standing them? Or did somebody kind of turn you off of them and now you're kind of rooting against somebody because of what happened in the Declassified episode? What were some of the things that you liked about seeing some of the sneak peeks of this challenge season? Let me know that in the comment section below. Let me know anything and everything you thought about from this episode. I cannot wait to read and reply to all your comments. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more challenge double agents, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.